All right, my fine folks, it is time for a Talking Texans. Hadn't done one in a couple of weeks because it ain't really been, the games ain't really been all of that. Everybody was talking about the Jacksonville game, so it's like, eh. And I didn't even watch. I'm one of the people that stopped watching. And then Tennessee was Tennessee. Nothing to talk about, really. Well, we got the Buffalo Bills. They managed to pull it off, 23-19, I think it was. And they spanked up on Josh Allen again. God damn it, that dude must hate coming here. Because they fucked that boy up. Oh my goodness. I was sitting there, and of course, the Texans, they just can't do what the fuck they supposed to do. They gotta keep shit to where it's like, okay, you sitting here about to, rip out your goddamn fingernails and shit like that, watching the damn game. And right off the top, I'm just gonna say that 4th and 26 play, the defense that they called on that was straight bullshit. Why would you do anything different when you've been spanking their ass the whole goddamn game? You know what I'm saying? Why would you do anything different? You drop everybody all the way back. You drop everybody all the way back and leave them with all their goddamn feel, and they fucking get the fuck out of here, dude. Get the hell out of here. That was a dumbass play call. I don't give a fuck. You run your fucking defense. You slide your people back just a little bit. You ain't got to have them playing 25 yards off the goddamn ball. What the fuck you think is going to happen? They going to throw the ball underneath. And ain't enough people going to have time to get to the goddamn ball carrier before he up the goddamn field. Just stupid. You know what I'm saying? Just stupid. It's just certain shit I don't understand that. Whatever. Sometimes you gotta let that shit slide. And of course, the Texans turn to poop once they get a little bit of a lead. You know what I'm saying? Look, I ain't saying you gotta be the old Oilers and run and shoot and shit like that, even though they passing game is a little bit different, from the pass happy teams from of today. But you gotta keep pressure on people, man. The offense is just like, okay, everything is toe tap on the sideline. It's just like it. I don't think it's supposed to be that goddamn difficult. It ain't that difficult when people tear our asses up. It's not. Everything, you just think about it. How many goddamn toe taps do our receivers have to fucking get? Toe tap. Everything is barely on the goddamn sideline. I'm just like, that's a lot of playing on the goddamn edge when most of your goddamn offense is based off of that. That's all you got. You know what I'm saying? They did get Christian Kirk got a nice play across the middle. You don't see a whole lot of that. Unless it's Nico, and then Nico fucking caught up. Nico didn't have a big day today. And he got hit and buzzed for a little bit. I don't know if it was a head or a shoulder or what. But he was in the game, and they didn't show him going into the tent or no shit like that. So, I was just like, oh, here we go again. We for to be without Nico for a week. Oh well. That's like that anytime anybody miss. I'm just like, oh well. Who up next? Because that's all you can do. I'm like, bam, damn. He go down. He like, I'm like, get your ass up, man. Get up. You twice as big as all them goddamn fucking DBs back there. Get your ass up. It's almost worse than he go poop hit his back his head. Like somebody papped him with a goddamn sledgehammer. What the fuck is in those helmets? You know what I'm saying? Because I'm looking at the goddamn impact here, and I'm just like, motherfuckers is getting lightheaded and dizzy off of tapping their goddamn head barely, and motherfuckers is out for concussion protocol and shit. I'm like, when the fuck did this shit happen? I watched the goddamn game. I ain't seen none of this shit happen. When the fuck did he hit his head? On the way getting off the plane or some shit? God damn. But anyway, this was a good win for the Texans. I'm pretty sure a lot of people lost some money tonight because I'm pretty sure most people were going for were betting on the Bills. I don't know why I couldn't think of their goddamn name. The Buffaloes. Yeah, the Bills. And rightfully so. I think a few of our own little media people down here picked the Bills to win, because that probably would have been the smart decision to make, but it's whatever. Yeah, it's whatever. You don't know what you're going to get with the Texans. You know what you're going to get with their defense. But with their offense, you just don't fucking know. You really don't. You don't know what you're going to get. The offense looked like it was going to be okay. Oh, excuse me. The offense should have had about 30-something points on the board. You know what I'm saying? They should have had about 30-something points on the board. Nick Cayley started trying to play clock ball at the end of the goddamn third quarter. You know what I'm saying? And I'm just like, bruh, you got to move the ball up the field, dude. You not up by fucking, 2 possessions or 3 possessions, no shit. You got to move the ball up the goddamn field. And all the plays I'm seeing, it just, I'm like, I don't know what the fuck they think they got on their offense, but you don't have an offense where you can run the ball 3 times. You don't. You don't have an offense where you can run the ball 3 times. You just don't. And then they get down to the fucking goal line. And then proceed to hand the ball. I don't know if it was Nick Chubb or Woody Marks. I don't know which one they gave to. But they did that stupid ass shit they always do. They down on the goal line and they give the ball to the goddamn running back, standing still, flat-footed in the back. And I don't get that. I don't get that at all. And some of the early running plays look like they kind of figured that shit. And of course, you're gonna have the little draw play thing. That's kind of what they do, or whatever the fuck, during the regular course of the offense. But that's on some off shit. When you need to get the goddamn ball moving, your running back need to be heading towards the goddamn line when he have the ball. When he get the ball. He shouldn't have the ball in his hand in the backfield just standing there trying to figure out where the fuck to run the ball. Especially not down there on the goddamn 1 goddamn yard line. That's so fucking stupid to me. And almost all of I think 80% of their running plays are like that. Get a ball to the fucking... First of all, you don't have the offensive line for that. This ain't the old Dallas Cowboys line with slow-ass Emmitt Smith running behind it. No, it's not that shit. You want your running back to move, you either pitching the ball on the run, or if he gonna run up the goddamn middle, let him be moving already in that direction when you get the goddamn ball. I'm sorry. That's just how the fuck it need to be. And it irks me, and I'm just like, they watch... Do they watch their own goddamn shit? You know what I'm saying? Or do they offensive play be so goddamn bad that they be like, you know what, I don't even want to watch that shit. Let's game plan for next week. We not even going to watch that. No, motherfucker, we need to see what the fuck, the problem is. And if you don't see the problem in that, I don't get it. Because both of our running backs are not operating at peak efficiency. I don't give a damn what little spark they have. Every once in a while, motherfucker get a spark. Marks a breakout, boom, 10, 15 yard run. Every once in a while, bam, Chubb a break, 10, 15 yard run. And I seen somebody mentioning this shit the other day. They said, I'm sick of seeing this, you get a ball to Nick Chubb and it's just in a 3 yards in a cloud of fucking dust. You know what I'm saying? And the way that this shit is, I haven't seen Nick Chubb actually run the ball since early in the season when he scored that 20-something yard touchdown. When they supposedly let him score. I haven't seen him run the ball. You know why? Because every time they give him the ball, he in the middle of a big giant ass fucking pile. And somehow he's still, man, it's the like 4 or 5 yards. It's just like a big pile of people, and this little dude is in there somewhere. You don't even see him run those 5, 6 yards. You just see him on the ground. Now, how the fuck did he get up there? I'm sick of this shit. I'm sick of it. But even that's not consistent. Because if it ain't that, because what was that run play? I think it was for a first down. Marks had. He got hit in the goddamn backfield. And those kind of runs are all on the fucking running back. You know what I'm saying? And he got hit in the goddamn backfield. I'm just like, the offensive line ain't made for that, man. It's not. It ain't made for that. Your offensive line is made, with the personnel that you have at the moment. You gotta have motherfuckers. If you can't move fuckers off the ball, you gotta be able to shade and wall motherfuckers off, and have your running back heading in the direction, at 75% speed or some shit. Give him some momentum so he can already be moving towards the goddamn line of scrimmage, and then still be able to cut and move and shit. Just the shit we do for the running game now just ain't gonna cut it. I don't give a damn how many jumbo formations you run. And all these fucking sometimes the little third down plays and shit piss me off, because, and I'm talking about the negative shit, because that's what pops out to me. I can't even hardly remember the good plays. He had some. I can't hardly remember. I'm just like, okay, it's 3rd and fucking 6. We can't get nobody 6 yards up the goddamn field. It's 3rd and 6. Why are we throwing a 3-yard goddamn pass up the field? You know what I'm saying? No chance of getting the first down or nothing. No chance. Because when we throw the ball in the middle of the field, it ain't nobody that's for to be like, no. You throw the ball to somebody, more than likely they gonna be sitting their ass fucking still in the middle of the field at 3, 4 yards, 2 yards short of the goddamn markers. As soon as they catch the ball, that's it. That's what third downs look like to me when I watch the goddamn Texans. We couldn't call nothing no better than that. It's just like, okay, in the goddamn huddle, you call the goddamn play. It's 3rd and 5, 3rd and 6. Quarterback be like, okay, be mindful of where the markers are. Get to the markers. If you got a comeback route or a crossing route or some shit like that, get to the markers. I don't want to throw the guy. You don't throw the goddamn ball behind the markers unless this motherfucker's in the goddamn coming out the backfield. You know what I'm saying? Or you catch somebody crossing and you can lead them. Not nobody just sitting in the middle of the goddamn, let's see that by his goddamn fucking self. You know, you got, I'm pretty sure all the good ones be like, get to the markers. You know what I'm saying? Get to the fucking markers. What the fuck are you running a 3-yard out route and it's fucking 3rd and fucking 5? You catching the ball going out of goddamn bounds. Who the fuck called that play? That is fucking stupid. It is. It's fucking stupid. And it ain't the only time I've seen it in this game, and I ain't gonna tell you how many times it happened. And I've seen it in other games. That's why this shit pisses me off. God damn it, stop that. You know? It just, and some of this, it just, I don't know, man. And that's one of the things I'm sitting here and I'm trying to figure out. Okay, well, you know Stroud is coming back. Now we're gonna have to deal with, okay, what's gonna be the difference between Stroud and Mills? Mills in my, you know, I don't mind Mills being in there, so don't even get on my shit about that. But I'm trying to figure out what's going to be the difference between, because Mills tries to put the ball where the fuck he wanted. You know what I'm saying? And then there was a lot of miscommunications today. It wasn't like that last week or the week before, but today it was some miscommunications on the routes and shit. And I was just like, okay, that wasn't supposed to happen. You know what I'm saying? On the receiver and on the quarterback end, that wasn't supposed to happen. That was just fucked up. I've seen a couple of those plays, just like, but I think Mills takes more chances. I think Stroud is a bit more careful, you know, with his ball placement and selection. You know what I'm saying? As much as you can be, if you give him time. We've seen Mills, you know, yak a motherfucker, and we've also seen Stroud yak motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, we know they both can do it, but they do have differences. You know what I'm saying? Because Mills is more likely to try to squeeze that motherfucker in somewhere, where Stroud may not exactly, be that way. You know what I'm saying? Unless that's just totally necessary. Not for to throw in the goddamn, 2 or 3 goddamn defenders or some shit. Mills will. Yeah, Mills will. And he's been successful on that shit. He be like, you know what I'm saying? I think about that shit when I be watching these games. I'm just like, I'm not a quarterback, so I'm not familiar with trajectories and player speeds and all this other shit. Where I'm like, okay, I know I can get that ball from here to that spot before anybody that's down there is fast enough to get there. You know what I'm saying? All that shit got to be going in your head. You know what I'm saying? I can get this ball there before he can get there. So I don't have that in my head. I didn't play quarterback, so I was a receiver, so I didn't have to deal with that. I had an arm, but they didn't want me to play quarterback. That's what it was. Anywho, I would have been ideal. I would have been the ideal quarterback too. That's the fucked up part. The shitty school I went to, they didn't want me to play quarterback. Yeah, I never played quarterback here. That's why we suck. That's why we suck. You need a quarterback that's 6'3", 250, running 4.5 40, can throw the ball fucking 80 yards. And I never play quarterback. Anyway, I'm putting myself in the shit. But anywho, that's the difference in the quarterbacks that I see. I think when Stroud get back, I think the offense will be just fine. I don't see us taking those steps back and no shit like that. I'm hoping that whatever they do to prepare for the next game and whatever they've been doing, you know, since CJ been out, been keeping him fresh, which I'm sure they have. You know what I'm saying? They ain't like he just been sitting at home on the couch chilling like a villain till time for him to come back. So, and I seen him on the sideline tonight. He had the wristband on, so he was in the game. You know what I'm saying? He wasn't just, you know, out there just watching this shit. He was like, He was in it. So, that being said, I don't know what they expect from the next game. We gonna figure it out when we see it. Just like with this one, I ain't make no predictions and no shit like that. It's like, okay, we gonna see what the Texans gonna do in this game right here. First half was okay. Second half, as far as I'm concerned, not so okay offensively. Other teams, and then you got to think, they only scored one touchdown. Yeah, Buffalo only scored one touchdown. Two. No, they only scored one touchdown. That other touchdown they scored was on special teams. That was a kickoff return. Yeah, that was a kickoff return. So the defense did what the fuck they doing. They picked them off twice. Sacked the dude 8 times. So, yeah, you can't ask for no more than that. But the offense comes up. It was 23-19. They still came up short, if you ask me. The offense still came up short because the game wasn't supposed to be this close. If the offense was doing what it was supposed to do, like I said, they'd have 30-something points on the goddamn board. You know, the little bit that the Bills got 3 big plays. They had the long run from Cook, the touchdown, and then they had 4th and 12. 3rd and 12, 4th and 12, I think it was 4th and 12 or some shit that they gave up. You know what I'm saying? 40-something yards on that play, big play. And then after that, they had, that was that 4th and 26 that they fucked off and gave up. You know, big hook and lateral play and whatever the fuck. You know, they gave up those big plays. Everything else, like literally, other than those 3 big ass plays, they didn't do shit. They didn't do shit. You know what I'm saying? They got a couple of first downs, and that was motherfucking it. Who got a game ball? Oh man. Yeah, I was like, shh. But the offense in the second half, man, is. So you gotta move the ball, man. You gotta, you know, part of stepping on people's neck when you got them down, that's part of it. Putting more points on the goddamn board. You know what I'm saying? Don't leave them with no chance to come back. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I think the Bills is down fucking 7 goddamn points, man. No, 4 points. They down 4 points. They need a touchdown to win. And it's down at the end of the game with 30-something seconds left on the clock, and they done moved the ball all the way down to the goddamn Texans 30-something yard line. You know what I'm saying? You know, it's just, I'm like, how the fuck they even get out? That wasn't even supposed to be an issue because the offense is supposed to have put this game out of reach. And that's what we don't have. We don't have that. And I'm blaming the play calling. It's not the personnel that we got because we moved the ball just fine. We moved the ball just fine in the first half. It went into the second half, and we had a little bit of a lead that the coaches changed their goddamn philosophy and wanted to play clock ball instead of playing football like they was playing in the first half. That almost let the goddamn Bills get back in it and win the goddamn game at the end. Who the fuck was that? Damn it, I missed it. Yeah, that's my problem with the Texans right now. And it's like you just ain't gonna learn. You're not gonna learn. Motherfuckers is so entrenched, and they got this shit in their head so ingrained. This is what we got to do. No, motherfucker, you start playing clock ball when you up 2 or 3 possessions, and you can't even do that because you see what happened. God damn it! See what happened to the Jacksonville Jaguars a couple weeks ago. You fuck around and get scored 26-0 in the goddamn fourth goddamn quarter. God damn it! You keep fucking playing. You keep fucking playing. You already proved you can move the ball against them. Keep fucking doing it. The same thing with the defense. You already been stopping them. You get them on a fucking 4th and 20 goddamn 6. Why are you doing something different? You do something different and they burn your ass. The Texans are gonna goddamn learn. Goddamn learn. Stop playing this bullshit ass. Keep doing what the fuck you been doing. You gotta run a fucking zone, okay. That don't mean you gotta drop people all the way back into the goddamn stands. Now the goddamn announcer said that. You just let them, it's 4th and goddamn 26. And you got your DBs backed all the way up to the goddamn first down markers, which means they got like 20 goddamn yards. And you just let them run off the goddamn ball instead of playing a regular ass defense, albeit playing maybe a little loose or run a goddamn a wider zone, a deeper zone, and try to disrupt them coming off the ball. You know what I'm saying? So they don't have a fucking free release. Motherfucker got 20 yards to just run up the goddamn. I'm back on that shit again. I already talked about it. God damn. That's the type of stuff they give me. That's the kind of stuff that championship teams, they tend not to make those goddamn mistakes. You know what I'm saying? And I'm starting to get, I'm like, well, okay, well, how much of this shit is coaching? Like, on the offensive side of the ball, that's a coaching problem. It is. We got a whole new quarterback in there. We done had all kind of people missing and doing all kind of shit. And it ain't the goddamn personnel. You know what I'm saying? It's to a degree, it's the offensive line. The offensive line ain't good as it could be, but they wasn't a big giant ass problem like they you didn't hear motherfuckers yelling out the offensive line like they usually do. You know what I'm saying? Didn't hear that this game. You didn't. They played a pretty goddamn clean game. I can give them that. It wasn't no shit to where I saw some stuff to where I just like, I don't know, man. But then I don't know what techniques they supposed to be playing. I don't know exactly what the offensive line fucking what their assignments is on runs and passes and all this other stuff. So it's hard for me to be like, but I'm looking at one play and I don't know who the fuck it was, but it's a running play. And I'm just looking, I'm like, yeah, bro, yo, leverage is all the fuck off. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, this is a running play and you up like this, doing some shit like that. I'm like, ain't you supposed to be like this? trying to get that dude going that way, not like this, doing this shit on a running play. What the fuck are you doing? You know what I'm saying? That type of shit. I tend to see some of that shit. I'm like, that's kind of why we can't run the goddamn ball. Nigga, you pass blocking on goddamn run play. I'm gonna need for you to get the goddamn play right. I don't remember who the fuck it was. I don't. I do not, because the way the Texans offensive line is, I don't know who playing where. Because I know Brown was out there. I seen 69, which is goddamn that guard we got. I don't forgot his goddamn name. He been out there all year. Probably the only whatever. Andrews at center, and it would have had to been Titus Howard at left guard. I'm thinking it was Titus Howard at left guard. I think he was the one that looked like he was pass blocking on that goddamn play. Because I think it was 71. Yeah. Yeah, that was it. That was Titus Howard. Looked like he was pass blocking on that goddamn run play. I'm just like, bruh, why is you up like this? On the goddamn on a run play. Why? Why is this? Tell me now, please. These are the things I need to know. You supposed to be pushing that motherfucker off that way or some shit. And you just. But for the most part, like I said, it was probably the cleanest game. What the fuck is a game? The cleanest game they done played so far this year. We keep that up. If they can keep this, current lineup, you know what I'm saying? To where you got Big Trent Brown out there. You got Big Trent Brown and why can't I remember that goddamn dude name? The right guard. He been out there all year. Well, he hadn't been out there all year. He had hurt his knee for a couple of games. But he was the start. He started the season, but he was like the only motherfucker you couldn't complain about, because he had, for a moment, he had like the highest PFF rating in the league or some shit, or the second highest. And I cannot remember his goddamn name. But anyway, he one of those people that, he out there and you don't never hear his name, which is a good thing. You don't never hear his name. That's what you want out of offensive lineman. You don't want to hear his name at all. So hopefully they can keep that going with the current. They can run out there with the same unit. Run out there with the same unit. And people can say what the fuck you want to say about Titus Howard, but you need motherfuckers like that. You know what I'm saying? You need motherfuckers like that. You got a starting goddamn offensive lineman that can play anywhere on the fucking offensive line except for maybe center. You know what I'm saying? Because if it wasn't for Titus Howard, you wouldn't even be able to shuffle motherfuckers around like you do. You had a big offensive lineman sitting in the cut. You was able to bring him out, and luckily, or fortunately, or however you want to put it, he was able to come out there and contribute for the third goddamn game in a row. Well, a lot of people didn't think he was going to be able to play at all. It's Trent Brown. So you got a veteran out there at right tackle. Then you got your fucking, you got the right guard dude. I can't think of his goddamn name. You got your center. And then you got Titus Howard at left guard. Because Titus Howard played right guard the last goddamn game. Move him over to left guard. And then you got Ursary, your big rookie. Bam. And Ursary has been quiet. You think he kind of hurt his arm a little bit this game, but he's been quiet. Good thing, because you heard his name quite a few times, first few games of the season, which is not a good goddamn thing at all. It's not. But you ain't heard his name that much lately. unless it just happens to be a holding or something every so often. It's not even, he ain't like Laramie Tunsil where this motherfucker just can't get the goddamn snap count right and killing drives. You know, he did cost us a game. He cost us that first Jacksonville game. I tell you that. It ain't no arguing that. You know what I'm saying? His fucked up play led directly to that last little play at the end of the game. So that was on him. You know. So but I mean, like I said, lately, you ain't hardly heard his name that much. Whatever they've been doing, they got him settled down to where you ain't got to worry about that end, so much. And then they've been running a lot of jumbo shit, so I guess that helped because they have Fisher out there as the extra offensive lineman on either side. I don't be paying no attention to that shit, but I guess that helps out a lot too. So yeah, Texans got their strategy for the most part of how they gonna use their personnel. As far as the running the game is concerned, I just with the personnel they gotta go with it. I don't know what they call it. I don't know what you call that running game. I don't know, the zone block or it's another scheme. I can't think of the name of it right now. I don't know what it is, but the shit don't work. You know what I'm saying? It don't work. Your running backs breaking out every once in a while for 6-7 yards is not gonna cut it. It's not gonna cut it. As far as I'm concerned, you got two good running backs. And I don't want to hear shit by Joe Mixon, because if Joe Mixon was back there, he'd be getting his ass tore the fuck up. You know what I'm saying? Everybody want to talk about Joe Mixon. Y'all don't remember all them goddamn times Joe Mixon got his ass tatted in the goddamn backfield? Yeah, this wouldn't be no goddamn different. You know what I'm saying? They talk about all the, this shit. Oh, Joe Mixon. No, Joe Mixon was in this offense. He'd be just pissed off. You know what I'm saying? He'd be pissed the fuck off. You got two good running backs back there. And now you have you got to figure out a way to use them properly, and I don't see that happening. I don't see that happening. I don't think the offense itself is designed for it. I don't think the offense, the way that they have it or envision it, it's not for a 1,000-yard rusher. So I don't want to hear nothing about and then they gonna split the carries, which is what I think they should do, because you got the rookie back there. You don't want to run that dude to death. You got Chubb back there. You don't want to run him to death. You split them. It's best if you keep them motherfuckers out there and they fresh when they out there. You ain't got a motherfucker carrying about 25, 30 times a goddamn game. And then their offense is not made for that no way. So, it's different if you gash your motherfuckers for 6-7 yards per carry, like a legit, first down every 2 goddamn carries. That ain't fucking happening. And the way this offense seems to be designed, I don't see that shit happening at the fuck all. And I don't think it's supposed to. You know what I'm saying? I don't think it's supposed to. I think the Texans is one of them teams that look like they run the ball because you have to run the ball eventually. You know what I'm saying? Is that eventually got to run the ball. So we just, there go our obligatory run play. All right, let's go throw some 3-yard outs. Because it's easier for us to throw 3-yard outs than it is to actually run the ball 3 yards. God damn it. So, we shall see how the Texans bounce back. It's gonna be a long weekend. No, what the fuck is a weekend? It's gonna be a long weekend. Excuse me. Woo. It's gonna be a long weekend, and like I said, we got Texans play on Thursday. I'm gonna have to find me something to do on Sunday because I don't really watch anybody else other than the Texans. Now that it's getting towards that part of the year, I might have to start watching other teams, depending on what shows up on fucking Hulu and what's available for me to watch. Because I can't just pick from any old goddamn game in the world. As far as teams that might end up on that's on the Texans schedule. Yeah, I'm sitting here trying to think, and I'm just like, bruh, it's gonna be hard because I the teams that might show like Kansas City. I haven't seen Kansas City play this year. I used to couldn't look on my TV without Kansas City being on there. I'm so fucking sick of Kansas City. But I hadn't seen Kansas City play this year. No, strangely enough, I haven't. Arizona. Well, I just saw the Bills, so with that. Indianapolis. I saw not the last game they played. I don't remember who the fuck they played, and it was on did Indianapolis play? Was that an international game? That might have been an international game, and it was kind of close too. I thought whoever was playing them had a chance to fucking win, and they fucking blew it, and I was mad. But that's one of the things. Is just like I kind of want the Colts to just boom blast through everybody, except for the Texans. They need to lose next week. They need to lose next week, but they need to win everything else. You know why? Because they play the Texans the last game of the year. They play the Texans the last game of the year. By the time the end of the year come, the Colts gonna already have a playoff spot locked up. More than likely, unless they start shitting on themselves or have a really big injury or something like that, and they just fall apart. They should have they playoff seeds and stuff pretty much settled, and that last game they should be resting folks. And the Texans, on the other hand, won't be in that position. At the last game of the season, if they're in playoff contention, they gonna need to win that goddamn last game. And you'd rather be playing the Indianapolis Colts team with all their players on the goddamn sideline. You know what I'm saying? That's what the fuck you want. You want the Colts to already be set up for the playoffs. So that last game of the season, they don't give a fuck. And the Texans can go out there and whoop their ass and hopefully help their playoff seeding if they need it. That's why you rooting for the Colts for the rest of the goddamn year. Because they're not gonna catch the Colts in the division. Now, if they beat the Colts, it's just I don't know what the like they showed the division standings. And the Colts are 2-0. I think the Colts are 2-0 in the standings. And the Texans are 3-1 in the division. Yeah, and I'm looking at the way they got the division listed, and the Texans are way down here. But I'm like, they got a better record than the other. They got a better divisional record. So shouldn't they be listed higher in the division? So what's the fucking point? I don't know. I don't know how that works. It should be simple. My mind is complicating that for some reason. But I'm like, the Texans are 3-1 in the division. You know what I'm saying? They are 3-1 in the goddamn division. Only thing they got to do is play the Colts twice. And more than likely, they going to win one of those games because the other one is at the end of the season where the Colts might already have their playoff shit in order, and they probably going to be resting all their starters. Anyway, I ain't going to worry about that. I don't know. I don't know how that works. I don't know how that works. I should know how that works, but I don't know how that works. Because if you got a division record, that should be your seeding in the division. The Texans should be at least second, even though they are 3-1 and the Colts are 2-0. So I don't know. I'm not gonna think about that too goddamn hard because I'm just gonna have to go off of overall record. Cause yeah, I'm just gonna have to go off of overall record because that shit is just gonna confuse the hell out of me. But anyway, I'm finna get up out of here, and I'm just happy I made a Talking Texans video this week since I went 2 weeks without making one, and hopefully we'll have a good one next week. So I'm gonna catch y'all on the flip side, man.